Singapore, earlier this week, things got frosty between two neighbors when one accused the other of creating a fire hazard by leaving 7 fridges along the common corridor of their flats in Simei. Living in a communal space can prove difficult for some, especially if one has uncooperative neighbors. Here is a look at 4 other reports involving common corridors. A resident in Yishun put up a literal wall in May this year to fence off the common corridor from a woman who was harassing neighbors. The cacti-lined makeshift gate was put up in a desperate attempt to keep the 63-year-old woman out. She was later arrested for public nuisance. She had reportedly splashed an oil-like substance that smelled like urine across doors and corridors of her neighbors, and left balls of toilet paper and used sanitary pads outside their flats. The 63-year-old woman had harassed her neighbors to the point that one of them set up a fence to block her out. Photo, St. File. The barrier was later removed as the town council said it was a fire hazard. The mother and daughter had been sleeping under umbrellas outside their main door. Photo, St. File. A report in July last year found that a mother and her daughter had been sleeping in the corridor outside their Ang Mokio flat as there was too much clutter inside the 4-room unit. Madame Francisca, 65, and her 24-year-old daughter were pictured sleeping under umbrellas just outside their main door, at the staircase landing. Neighbors were riled by the sight, with one saying she had seen the pair washing dishes outside the flat. The town council had reportedly served them several notices to clear the common space. In 2005, a reader wrote in to say that his next-door neighbors had turned their home into a temple, holding regular worship sessions and gatherings that sometimes spill into the common corridor. Mr. Ui Yung Kyun said that people burned joss sticks, candles, and paper offerings in the common corridor, and some things had been left there permanently for displaying materials for worship. This left the common corridor very dirty and unsightly with burn marks and stains, and ceilings blackened by soot from all that burning. In response, HDB said HDB flats are meant for owner occupation and only for residential purposes. Non-authorized use of HDB flats, such as temples for public worship, is an infringement under the lease agreement. The lessees are liable to get a warning, fines, or even have their flats compulsorily acquired. The general manager of the Al Junaid Town Council wrote back in response, saying the neighbors have removed the items causing obstruction in the common corridor after the town council visited them. Ms. Linda Cheng decorated the common corridor outside her flat for Chinese New Year in memory of her late father. Photo, courtesy of Nabilah Mohammed Nasir Khan. Not all the cases arose from unhappiness between neighbors. In January this year, a Bedok resident decorated the common corridor outside her flat for Chinese New Year in memory of her late father. Ms. Linda Cheng's father used to sit outside the flat to enjoy the elaborate CNY decor she put up each year.